Hello, may I speak to Erin, please?
That's me.
Hey, Erin, it's Kim Potts.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, I hope your husband's better.
Yeah, he is. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all right, because I am like living in 1992. I had a lot of Bratmobile stuff.
I was just going to ask you.
Still juggling the same two things.
So a very...
I had a 25th anniversary with them. And
wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
You don't still perform with them, though, right?
No, but we broke up in 94, got back together in like 99, and stopped playing in 2002, but never said we broke up. So we just get rehashed into a lot of these sort of nostalgia things a lot, and we get asked to play. So we might again, but we're all kind of in the music business.
That's cool.
So yeah, so we don't really play, but every now and then I'll dabble. But
so you
can't have a real career and then have a band that's going to tour or do anything kind of on any level of success.
Right.
Then you can't be gone from work. So.
Are you all in the same area still?
No.
Okay.
Never were, and that's the weird thing. We were always on two coasts.
Okay.
We're in D.C., L.A., New York.
Well, that would be you're kind of a triangle then of...
Especially when there's like people with kids involved.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh my gosh. Although the kids would probably think that was incredibly cool, but I guess it's not very practical, right?
Yeah, no.
Well, so have you, I guess, does Teenage Gang Deb still exist in any form?
No. So it's like basically out of print.
Oh.
Yeah, so we never went online. I know this is not what you're asking me, but we...
No, I was going to ask you that, though. That's a good point, yes.
It really, like, basically was... The inception was, like, 1987. And the last issue technically came out in 1993, but we were still doing tons of interviews and mail and lots of stuff until, 95, 96, when the internet really took off.
Do you think...
We never had a desire... We were, like, very good at really well-done, hand-done layouts and really good at manipulating photos and Xeroxing. Mm-hmm. But we were not, like, web designers, and we didn't want to take advertising.
Got ya.
And at that point, that's kind of what you would have to do. And it sort of became, this really special thing we did in this weird handmade DIY way. And then it sort of became a dime a dozen. Like anyone can have a website. Like anyone can do it.
It's true.
We didn't want to have advertising, and it was just less special.
I was just going to say that it became less special with everyone doing the blogs.
And it was really kind of an alternative sort of punk underground thing sold at weird record stores and stuff. It was never... It was never really kind of available through super mainstream channels. Mm-hmm. And it was just kind of, I don't know, it just wasn't, we were just not going to go that route, so.
Why did you start it initially, or how did it happen that you started it as something that you would share with other people?
So it's funny because I've been asked to reflect about myself since I was about 15. So I've been talking this weird way about myself, but I was just one of those really precocious kids that was at the library all the time checking out books, and I grew up in a neighborhood with no children, and really had just sort of a strangely adult interest in history because of the way my parents talked to me. My parents were older and just always kind of were talking about another era. Mm-hmm. So I always thought in this sort of historic way, and I would get TV encyclopedias from the library. So I started, my favorite TV book is The Complete Directory to Primetime Network.
Oh my God, yes.
So Tim Brooks and Earl Marsh, and I started reading that in 1981 when I was 9. And I have a weird Rain Man memory where it's like a photographic memory where I can memorize dates. So I would read that and would be memorizing dates and memorizing actors' names and looking in the index and wanting to know what bit part someone, Charlotte Rae or whoever I was into at that time, what they were in before, and memorized this stuff. So my brother and I were both a bit that way, and so we all had friends, but we did grow up in a neighborhood with no kids, and in the summer we would just be like poring over the stuff, but in an intellectual way. So when people say, "Hey, your kids should go out and play," we were not doing these things in a frivolous way. We were like mapping things out and talking about history, even junior high age.
Wow.
Just always were that way.
Mm-hmm.
By the time, So I'm from Bethesda, Maryland. Bethesda did not get cable. The D.C. area didn't get cable till like 87, strangely enough. So you couldn't just watch these things whenever you wanted.
Okay.
So our local affiliate stopped playing Brady Bunch reruns probably in 1980 or 82, and then didn't play them again till 87. So when it picked back up in 87, I was like ready for it, and I was taping every episode on beta and just poring over it, but in this intellectual way.
Mm-hmm.
So I was familiar with music fanzines and punk fanzines and doing DIY, writing and layouts and things like that. And I was doing things for music magazines, but wanted to share my different take on pop culture and TV, and Brady Bunch was like the thing I was an authority on, and I just thought all TV writing was either like basically overly dry or a dumbed down, like joking about bell bottoms or just groovy, the dumb stuff that everybody says, and I thought it should be totally different and reverent, and really respecting it, because I don't think it's anything to joke about. And I think anything that pervasive in the culture is important to study, whether you think it's realistic or not.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn about what's not shown.
Right. Oh, I love
that. So
that.
I was really interested in episodes about women's lib or hippie culture, that kind of stuff. And I certainly did papers in college about it and that kind of thing.
So were you were you still in high school when you started the zine?
Yes, so 10th grade.
Okay, wow.
It just was always, it was always that way. I mean, my brother's 4 years older, and so but it was really me being just precocious and just doing that with my free time, and that's what I was doing. So, but it could take all year. I mean, it was the school year. I was working heavily on it in spring break or in summer, that kind of thing, and taping everything on beta.
How much time did it take you to, like, for the first issue? How much time did it take you to make it? And then also, who did you share it with at first?
So I have the issue dates for each issue. It was about one a year.
Okay.
And it was usually coming out, spring at the end of the school year. So issue 1 was worked on in, between 87 and 89, so it came out in the spring of 89. And issue 2 was March 1990. Issue 3 was January 91. Issue 4 was January 92. And issue 5 was May 93. So it kind of roughly goes with when, college breaks were, probably.
Okay.
Right? So that's, basically all my basically covered kind of most of my high school and college years. So I was class of 90 in high school and class of 94 in college.
Okay. Wow. And then, I mean, by issue number 2, though, you were already getting, great interviews. How did that happen? When I was in college as a journalism student, this was pre-internet, just right before internet. And I can't remember sometimes how we even did things without the internet. But this is incredible that you guys were doing this before the internet. How did you even go about, for example, for the Eve Plum interview, you went to where she was doing a play, but how did you even find out about that before the internet?
I was in Internet Sassy magazine in New York, so in the summer of 91. So Sassy magazine was one of the first mainstream publications to write about us. Mm-hmm. Our zine was sold at a store in New York called See Here, SEEHEAR, that sold nothing but fanzines. So,
okay.
So lots of journalists, lots of important writers just bought it there.
Mm-hmm.
Just go there to figure out what they were going to write about next because they needed to fill their copy. So Christina Kelly from Sassy Magazine discovered us there, and then